Hello, today we will be looking at the Cambridge IGCSE music syllabus. Welcome to 2026, and it is the official year that Cambridge has changed their IGCSE music syllabus. So I have spoken about these changes previously, hint hint, but today I'm going to talk through the outline of the syllabus for 2026 to 2028. So we have the three biggest changes you need to know about this year, being the big number shift. We have officially gone from 4 areas of study to 7. Then we have course evaluation. There are new rules for how you have to submit your compositions. And then number 3, modern vibes. We have electronic dance music, abbreviated as EDM, and video game music. They're now officially part of the syllabus. Yay! As always, Cambridge does provide you with an assessment overview within the syllabus. So we still have Paper 1, Component 1, the written element, then Component 2, being performing, and Component 3, being composing. Paper 1 counts 40% of your grade, being a 75-minute listening paper. Structure, no change there. However, the actual paper will look a bit different. Then we get to performing. That will be 30% of your final mark. And then composing, also 30% of your final mark. So with both performing and composing, you have to submit 2 little things in your coursework. For performing, you have solo performing and performing with others, now labeled as such. And then with composing, you have 2 contrasting compositions. However, the specifications thereof will look a little bit different to the previous syllabus, which was up until including 2025. So back to the listening paper, which is paper 1, although there is no paper 2, so they might as well just call it paper. But hey, nothing about Cambridge has ever been straightforward. We have our written/listening paper, 75 minutes as I've said. And now, instead of broad categories, as in Section A being Western music, Section B being world music, Section C being oral and dictation, so to speak, and then Section D being set works, we now have more laser-focused areas of study. So they will have AOS, meaning areas of study. There are 7 of these now, very specific. So you will get an extract of at least each of these in the exam. Yeah, because before that was not the case. It was very much of a gamble. You didn't know what you were going to get, and if you got something and you didn't know too much about it, too bad. And if you didn't get something that you really knew about, too bad, you couldn't write about it. But now you will be getting an extract for at least all of these. We do also have a specimen paper, and I will definitely go through that paper in a separate video just to show you how Cambridge will actually maintain extracts from each of the areas of study. So areas of study 1 to 3 would basically take your Western classical roots. So area of study 1 is Baroque music, and the focus is on concertos. Area of study 2 is classical music, and it focuses more on chamber music. And then area of study 3 is romantic music, and focusing more on programmatic music. We do have suggested listenings and then wider listenings within the syllabus. So please do go ahead and check that out. If you're a teacher, even if you're a student, ask your teacher to go through those set listenings. So they are not set works, but these listenings will really inform what you need to know for an unprepared listening in the actual exam. Then we move on to areas of study 4 through 7. So these are the more modern and global ones. So area of study 4 is music and words. Area of study 5 is music for dance. Area of study 6 is music for small ensembles. And area of study 7 is music for stage and screen. Area of study 4 is music and words, and it covers art songs, choirs, and popular or musical theatre songs from the 20th century to today. Area of study 5 is music for dance, and it specifically tackles tango, salsa, and EDM. Area study 6, music for small ensemble, and this specifically looks more at world traditions. Yay, world music! So we don't have specific world musics or world music focus that we need to look at, but however, under the ensemble category, we're going to look at silk and bamboo music ensembles from China, then Hindustani, classical music, as well as Arab tucked ensembles. Lastly, we have area of study number 7, which is music for stage and screen. This will include music for ballet, film, as well as movie music and stage music. Also, your video game music will pop up here. Then for component 2 being your performing, we have a performance update here. You still need a solo work and an ensemble work. However, you can now be assessed for self-accompanied singing, meaning playing guitar while singing. So that is new. You can accompany yourself. You can also use backing tracks. Interesting. So you can use them for your ensemble piece, but at least one other live performer must be playing with you. So for instance, if you have a trio and your one person can't make it to the live performance, you and your bestie, you and your one partner can play live with a recording of the third person. So they have room and scope for that. Now you don't have to make use of that, but it's just now a possibility, a loophole, so to speak, if live performances aren't easy to coordinate. Your component 2 still needs to be between 4 to 10 minutes total, so watch out for your playing time there. Then we have component 3, being composing. We basically now have the no repeat rule. Your 2 compositions now must use different instrumentation, okay? So not just different style, but instrumentation. If you use the same instrumentation for both, you will get naught in the category of use of medium for the second performance or the second composition that you write, which may be a MIDI recording or it may be a live performance, but nevertheless for that part of the composition you won't receive any marks. Composition 2 now is very specific because now it must relate to your areas of study. So areas of study being the more modern and global ones, so 4, 5, 6 or 7. And then bye-bye scores, which is optional. For composition 2, if you have an EDM producer or songwriter, you don't have to write a traditional score. You can now rather submit a detailed written commentary, so not even a visual score here, but a written commentary with timings instead. So again, a little bit of loopholes or flexibility for those who want to make use of it. And of course, as always, your first composition must be submitted in staff notation, a full score, very Western classical like. But you can do very Western classical scores for both compositions if you so please. So that's basically the update and the new syllabus. So some things are taken out, as in your world music full-on studies and your world music focus. There is now also set work focus for the years for 2026 to 2028. And I do think Cambridge is getting closer to accommodating a more global type of music student. You know, we're not just thinking, okay, Cambridge, meaning we're catering for those in England and maybe those around the world who just want to do a very English, England-like syllabus. So, as I said, I will be going through a past paper, specimen paper, because Cambridge has at least given us that so far, of how the new written paper, the listening part, would most likely look. However, we do have to wait for the upcoming May-June series and also the later October-November series in the year to see, you know, real-life examples of what they actually do. So good luck to you if you are writing in the May-June series this year, because you will be those guinea pigs, basically. But to wrap up this video, I can say with confidence that the 2026 to 2028 syllabus is definitely more modern. So whether you're into Vivaldi, salsa, like me with salsa dancing, or game music, there is definitely a place for your style now and medium, whether it be film, whether it be live performance, whether it be classical or accompaniment to ballet. There is something for everyone. So I hope it has helped you concerning the syllabus update. Please do check my description below because there is a PDF of the full update. And I wish you all the best with your new studies of the IGCSE music syllabus from now on.